What is up, everybody? Purple and Gold Podcast, Thursday, February 19th. Welcome in. LSU in Jacksonville, LSU baseball in Jacksonville this weekend to play in the Live Like Lou College Classic. I thought we would go over what Indiana, Notre Dame, and UCF have done up until now and talk a little bit about where I think LSU is after 5 games, what I might expect to see from them this weekend, and we will finish with a preview of the big LSU Ole Miss women's basketball game tonight. So LSU will play Indiana first tomorrow. Indiana was swept at North Carolina. You may have seen a viral video going around. Their second baseman appeared to have the yips, threw a ball away late in one of the games, the only game that was really close, and cost Indiana a win. Indiana did bounce back and beat Bradley in the midweek. They come in 1-3, and certainly this is a favorable situation for LSU against Indiana on Friday. Notre Dame actually went and took 2 of 3 from Florida Atlantic. They did not play a midweek game this week. They will play Central Florida tomorrow. This is a 4-team event, so you've got 2 games each day, and I would suspect that Notre Dame might actually be the second best team in this field, but we'll have to wait and see on that. And Central Florida swept what I can only assume is a very bad Siena team. Central Florida, I think, beat them 15-0 once, scored 16 or 17 runs in another game. And then Central Florida lost a heartbreaker in the midweek to Miami. In 13 innings, Miami had a walk-off home run to win it. Central Florida was winning that game in the 8th or the 9th, I believe, and Miami tied it. They were winning again in the 13th before Miami ultimately won the game. Central Florida looks like they may be a very formidable opponent, and it looks like they're a very good offensive team in the early going. So it'll be interesting to see William Schmidt against that team. No new news on Chris Stanfield. He was at practice today, but he did not practice. I would suspect he will sit out the entire weekend in an effort to let that hand heal up completely, let all of the swelling go down. Could he maybe pinch run? Could he maybe do something if really needed? Yes, but I think LSU will try to take it easy with Chris Stanfield and try to get him back to full health here, as he's too important a piece on this team, and it's too early in the season. One of the things I will be interested to see, though, is in the games that Stanfield has missed, we have seen Braden Simpson play in left field, and we have seen start a game in left field, and we have seen Tanner Reeves start in left field. Tanner Reeves did commit an error in yesterday's game, and I'm curious to see if someone like Daniel Harden, who is more of an outfielder by trade, would get a start this weekend. You would have thought if they were going to do that, they would do that in the midweek. My guess is it'll be some combination of Braden Simpson and Tanner Reeves manning left field, but it is interesting to think about someone like Daniel Harden maybe getting a start, or maybe coming in and being asked to play this weekend. I do believe you will see the same 3 starting pitchers. I think it'll be Kason Evans tomorrow against Indiana, Cooper Moore on Saturday against Notre Dame, and William Schmidt, as we talked about, on Sunday against Central Florida. I think it'll be interesting to see guys like Devin Sheeran and where they are deployed. Grant Fontenot, get him back out on the mound after a little bit of a rocky outing against Kent State. I think that Cooper Williams will obviously play a big part in this thing. I think Santiago Garcia will get back out there this weekend. Obviously, Gavin Guidry is going to play a part in any game where LSU needs someone late. And so that'll be an interesting situation to see how LSU deploys some of the many relief options that they do have. And also, obviously not tomorrow, but on Saturday or Sunday, could you see Reagan Ricken? Is this a situation where Reagan Ricken's 3 hitless, scoreless innings yesterday, did it earn him an opportunity on the weekend here? Did it earn him an opportunity at a midweek start next week? Where are they at with Zach Cowan? Zach Cowan's had a couple of kind of rough outings. Do they want to get Zach Cowan back out there this weekend in a relief role? Do they want to try to wait and get Zach Cowan back out there in the midweek? How LSU deploys their pitching staff over the weekend will be very interesting. Tigers obviously will be favored, you would expect, in all 3 of these games. The game I would keep an eye on, though, is that Central Florida game on Sunday. I know it's against Siena and against Miami's midweek pitching, but Central Florida has been very offensive here early in the season, and we'll have to see what William Schmidt can do against them. Tonight, 8 o'clock Central Time, ESPN, 7th-ranked LSU Lady Tigers and the 17th-ranked LSU Ole Miss Lady Rebels on the road in Oxford. Coach Yo, who is Ole Miss women's basketball coach, tweeted out last night something to the effect that Pete Golding had texted her and said he will be at the game. This will obviously be a raucous environment. Both teams come in 8-4 in the SEC. Both teams trying to secure that 4th spot in the conference, which would get them a double bye in the SEC women's basketball tournament. This is really the first major event between the 2 schools since all of the Lane Kiffin drama. So obviously Pete Golding is seizing this opportunity to show up there, and good on him, good for Ole Miss. I think it'll be a great environment for women's basketball tonight. The Lady Tigers are an 11-point favorite. Let's see if they can get back to playing well. Let's see if they can get Michaela Williams going, see if they can get Malaysia Fulwiley going, see if they can play a more complete game than what they played against South Carolina, and let's see if they can get back on track and get back towards the double bye. LSU really can ill afford to lose the game tonight. Coach Yo, in her latest press conference after Ole Miss beat Tennessee on Tuesday night, was sort of lamenting the lack of a turnout and the lack of support, and she was hoping for a better fan turnout tonight. Lane Kiffin retweeted that video and basically said, hey, it's just different. LSU's in town, so you know they're going to turn out. So Lane couldn't help himself. He had to at least interject himself in some way into this, and I would suspect he may be tweeting out stuff during the game if he sees fit relative to what Pete Golding may or may not be doing. So that'll be a very interesting, it's a big basketball game. It's big for the standings. It's big for NCAA tournament implications. It's huge for the SEC tournament. And then, like I said, it's dripping with the added drama of it being the first real big event between LSU and Ole Miss, and Pete Golding interjecting himself into that. That'll just about wrap it up for today. We will be back tomorrow afternoon to recap LSU and Indiana and preview the rest of the weekend ahead. I do expect that this will be a different test for this LSU baseball team. You will play 3 Power 4 schools. You will be on the road in a stadium you've not played in before. LSU did practice today in the stadium. There's video of them taking batting practice today. It'll be a nice road trip for LSU. It'll be a nice environment, but make no mistake about it, this is business trip for LSU, and it's a business trip for Jay Johnson, and it would be real nice if LSU could get all 3 of these games into the win column this weekend. We'll be right here to cover it all for you. As always, be good to one another, and always, 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 go Tigers.